With games at near half the length of the men's competition and players new to the sport, the AFLW is never going to debut with scores close to the 150 points common in the men's competition. 4 of the most recent 10 games have hit 100, however, doubling the competition's total for 100-point games in the last 2 weeks alone. Statistics from Champion Data also show metrics for average disposals, shots at goal, scoring, contested and uncontested marks are all up based on the previous 2 seasons. Last weekend's round 3 was particularly noteworthy. The average disposal efficiency, number of marks, goals and inside 50s across all games was highest of all the competitors' rounds to date. New records were set for number of disposals, 33, handball receives, hardball gets and effective short kicks. The stats mark a similar trend to the rate of improvement seen in the WBBL, where the number of sixes at the end of the first series, 110, increased each year and had more than doubled by the fourth, 270. AFL intervention behind the uptick has been the AFL's concerted effort to open up the game for more free-flowing play. It was no secret the AFL was itching to see higher scores. A memo sent to coaches last year made instructions around the style of play, intended to make the game more attractive, but yielded backlash from some players. The AFL kept a close eye nonetheless, and might now be seeing its interventions come to fruition. It introduced 10 rule changes to the AFLW this year, 8 of which will be made to the men's game. Head of women's football Nicole Livingston said those behind last year's rule review and memo were pleased with the close contests and scoring so far this season. Loading, we believe the rule changes have made a difference to the free-flowing nature of the play and the ability of our players to score, she said. From an AFL point of view, we are very strongly using the data analytics that are available to us. We review statistics from every round. You name it, it gets reviewed. Stoppages, secondary stoppages, rotations. We're looking at everything. Better the longer the journeys cause aside. Increasing stoppages and consistent tackle counts indicate players displaying skills under pressure. The players are getting a lot better, Blues coach Daniel Hufford said after Carlton registered their highest AFLW score yet last weekend. You can actually coach a system to play, and that will get better and better the longer the journey goes. Hype surrounding this year's competition is being propelled by the first generation of players to come through AFL pathways and make an immediate impact. You look at a player like Maddie Pressbarkers from Carlton, and she started as a 5-year-old, so she's gone right through our system, Livingston said. Pressbarkers, 18, recorded a game-high 21 disposals and scored 3 goals last weekend, before ending her season prematurely due to injury. Geelong's number 1 pick Nina Morrison, also 18, racked up 22 disposals and 8 tackles in her debut game in round 1. With the AFL expanding its grassroots offerings for girls and participation increasing, Livingston said, the future is really bright. There's a host of those girls coming now through the system that have had exposure to the whole gamut, exactly the same as boys, she said. The steady accumulation of experience is also a key factor, considering the total number of professional AFLW games played is still yet to reach the equivalent of one men's season. Every time you do a preseason you get better and improve, and every time you do a season you get better and improve, Livingston said. Despite skills and scores improving week on week, there is no commitment to extend the 7-week season yet. We'll review 2019 and then very quickly we'll make some decisions about 2020, Livingston said. The players have been very public in the fact they want to play more footy, so we just have to balance that with the reality of where we're at in year 3 of the competition.